All right. My personal stock portfolio is now at a record all-time high. And I'm not saying this to brag or pat myself on the back. Those of you who know me, I'm a humble guy. But I'm saying this, first of all, because, well, for two reasons. Number one, I don't use charts. I don't have any inside information. I don't day trade. I don't go running, looking around for the system, the system fairy. Okay? I use MMT understanding and knowledge. Okay? And the reason why my portfolio was at an all-time high was because last year, when the market was going down and monetarists, they were selling like crazy and saying, it was going to collapse the market and the economy was going to go into recession. I was telling you guys they just don't understand double entry accounting. And during that period, I was adding to my portfolio. I was adding positions. In big name stocks. I'm not like, I don't go like searching for the next Amazon or something like that. I'll buy Amazon, I'll buy Netflix, I'll buy Apple, I'll buy, Google, I'll buy the JP Morgans and stuff like that. And I tell you guys about it. Anyway, people who have subscriptions with me. But somebody, the classic thing that I'm always hit with is, okay, well, do you have a track record? Is it audited? Can you show this? Which to me is, this is, again, this just points to a total, level of ignorance about reality. And I'll tell you why. First of all, I don't even have to tell you this, but any investment fund or anything that you want to get involved with, regardless of what the track record is, there's a statement in there that basically says past performance is no prediction of future results, okay? And I've been over so many examples of that. But the important thing is, are you me? In other words, everybody is an individual. I give out macroeconomic advice. I just did a video earlier today about how I give out macroeconomic advice, and a guy says to me, Mike, your advice is fantastic. I love it. It's so great. You're a leader in MMT, but I'm canceling because I don't use it. So, I mean, like, I've had so many of this. Like, I could give you, and this is just reality, like you can have the actual blueprint of Warren Buffett or somebody. Think of some big name, multi-billionaire trader or whatever, that guy Jim Simons, I don't care who it is. He could literally tell you what his next move is going to be, and you could still sabotage yourself. You're not that person. I mean, when things are moving against you, everybody's emotional makeup is different. You are not me. Okay, so I give all this information, but asking for like a track record is just ridiculous, because it implies that you have to basically be a carbon copy of me. I mean, how many of you were buying? A lot of you quit. A lot of you quit my service. How many of you were buying last year when things were looking horrible? And every day the headlines were about, rate hikes and inflation and the war and and all this stuff. And then even earlier this year with the banking crisis, and it comes down to your constitution. In other words, your makeup, your emotional makeup. We all are different. One of the things I've tried to talk about here over the years is mental game. And a lot of you just kind of dismiss that. You might not dismiss it out of hand, but you kind of ignore it, and you're looking for what I call the system fairy, some system that's going to that's going to carry you miraculously to the riches and wealth that you feel like you deserve from the market. I mean, it doesn't exist. And so asking somebody for a track record, look, I'm not lying when I say my portfolio's at an all-time high. It's not hard to understand. I've explained this so many times. It's about growth in the economy. And when you have, when we're looking at a perpetual net addition to the financial balances of the non-government through government spending, and every once in a while, yeah, that gets drained out because of tag. I tell you this every quarter. I mean, and I say buy the big name stocks. There's no secret trick to this. I mean, it's kind of easy, and that's why. I mean, in that sense, it's easy. It's not easy in the emotional sense. So a track record or a performance record or even exact instructions of what to do, people are not going to follow it. There are going to be people who, this expression, if you can't stand the heat, get out of the kitchen. I mean, I've trained myself to withstand that heat. A lot of times it's uncomfortable, but I've been doing this a long time and I've trained myself to withstand that heat. And no, I'm not a billionaire, but I do well. My portfolio does well. And the only actual trading I do anymore is a little bit of Forex. And even for that, I use MMT. But I mean, when people ask for track records, I mean, that is such a meaningless, useless thing to ask for. Because unless you are exactly a carbon copy of me or whoever produced that track record, then it's not going to, the chances are is you're not going to replicate that performance. You have to create that within yourself, okay? That resilience, that behavior that's going to bring you to where you want to be. And that's not instructions. It's not a track record. And that's, I don't know what else to say about that. I mean, that's just that's behavior, man. It's behavior. And a lot of people don't even pay any attention to that, or they dismiss it, or they're not aware and they're looking for the hot stock or something. I don't do that. I don't do that. And I tell you, I've always told you what the macro condition is. Now, if you think that's not important and you don't use it, fine. I mean, that's your call. But that's what I use. I don't use charts. I don't use the system fairy. I don't have any access to inside information. I don't do day trading. Somebody said here in a comment that it's all about timing. And that's a fallacy too. It's not about timing. It's about patience. I could be wrong in my timing. This idea that you have to be exactly right in your timing. Otherwise, I mean, that's a detriment. That'll actually kill you in the end. That'll hurt you in the end. It's not about timing. It's about patience. And most people, they just don't have the patience. I mean, I think it's human nature. And especially nowadays in the world we live in with social media and everything like that, we just want instant gratification. Instant gratification. Boom, boom. And we read about all these people, making all this big money, and most of it is bullshit. It's just made up. And we see it on Instagram, and we see it on TikTok, sign up for my thing. I'll show you how to make all this money online, whatever. It just doesn't happen that way, man. It's not about timing. I used to do this thing in my Forex course where in the middle of the course, I would ask the students, just tell me to do something, anything. Buy, sell, any market you want. I don't care. I didn't plan on it. Just randomly pick something. Tell me to go long or short. I don't care if it's overbought, oversold. And I used to do it. And I used to trade myself out of that position. That was in my course. With patience and strategy, you could work yourself out of something. It's a I don't know, man. I really need to impress upon you guys how important this idea is. It's very, very important. Please listen to it. Bye.